would you say to all of those people listening who are experiencing bad leaders right now? What advice do you have for them? And what advice do you have for bad leaders right now who are not being intentional?
So, well, for the first part, if you're dealing with a leader that is not optimal, and that you're struggling with, I think it's something that you seriously have to think about what's important to you and to what level, because again, no one's perfect, but how bad is it for you and how is it impacting you? Is it impacting your mental health? Is it impacting your physical health? Because right, those are determining
Mhm,
factors. If it's
mhm,
that bad, obviously the first thing we always tell people is have a conversation like you said with that person. But in my experience, when it gets that bad, we're past the point of a conversation and we're at the point where no job's worth your health. Your health is much more important
mhm.
in the long term, and I hate to say it, but sometimes when things get that bad, we have to think about, is it time to move on?
Mhm,
I really do,
mhm.
and that's a lot easier said than done, right? Especially if there's financial impacts to that, it's your family that's impacted.
Mhm.
Um, and it doesn't have to be like you just go in the next day after you decide this and quit. You put a plan together. You start looking confidentially for another job.
Mhm.
But if it gets to the point where it's impacting your health, I think it's time to think about, is it time to move on?
Move on. Mhm.
To your second question, I don't know that bad leaders always know that they're bad. I think that's part of the problem, right?
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
they're not self-aware enough to know that, and or they're not listening to feedback about
Mhm.
it,
Mhm.
right? Because I think the both of those things happen. I think most of us are willing to give people grace, right? Because we know
Mhm.
no one's perfect. But a lot of times a leader is deemed bad because we've kind of given that grace and we're seeing repeated behavior and we've shared feedback and nothing's changing,
Mhm.
or it's not being received well, or we feel retaliated against, a number of different things. But it's
Yeah.
usually because there's been an attempt to offer feedback and to change that behavior.